3, 2, 1, and we're live. Welcome to episode 22. It's episode 22 and episode 22. Just so you're aware. Welcome to the Mixed Martial Arts Podcast. I am your host, once again, Ben Cohn. And joining me today, we have co-host Alejandro and co-host Bilal. Say hi, guys.
Away, yalla. What?
You say something.
Oh yeah, I was just greeting.
That was great. Good job, guys. Good job.
He said something like a word I don't understand. Is that hi? Is that like?
Which one? I said away, yalla. Okay, so away is like a casual slang greeting, and yalla is like you. In this context, you all.
Oh. It's like slang. It's like I showing up and saying "que onda." Like, yeah, I get you.
Not completely. Like just the ways that kind of slang. It's not formal Afrikaans.
Anyway, we're gonna. Jesus Christ. Well, first of all, thank you to everyone who listened to the previous episode. We appreciate your support. Please continue to share and spread the word. That's the way we're going to keep getting more and more people on this wild ride. So,
that or selling drugs. So.
Appreciate it. We are officially on SoundCloud now, so just search MMAngst Podcast, and you will find us. Please keep supporting us. We really appreciate it, and we love you. Each and every individual who listens to us, we love you equally. Forever and always.
Not equally. We love some more, but we wouldn't admit to it. Ben wouldn't admit to that.
Stop it.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to do today, we spoke in depth about Max Holloway and Dustin. Wow.
Not in depth.
Anyway.
We were rushed for time.
Max
because
Holloway
this
versus Dustin Poirier on the last episode, so we're not going to talk about that on this one. I'm just going to reiterate, Bilal and I are picking Dustin, and Alejandro's picking Max.
I just want to say I hope Max Holloway is going to win, but I'm picking Dustin.
Okay. I mean, screw you, but fine. Anyway, so there is still some stuff to talk. We did speak briefly about Kelvin Gastelum versus Adesanya, and it was kind of throwaway, and it does deserve a little bit more than that, I think. So we're going to discuss that. And if there are any other fights on the card that interest either of you, please bring it up and we'll talk about it. But let's just jump right into Kelvin Gastelum versus Israel Adesanya. Why specifically is this matchup so weird for you? Because for me, it's a matchup against a guy who should be fighting at welterweight and is fighting at middleweight, relies so heavily on his physical skills, which you pointed out, Bilal, in the episode last week, against a guy who is very skilled as a kickboxer with very clear flaws as well, even on the feet. So where are you guys at with this? I mean, I'm still picking Kelvin simply because and I know Bilal, you did too.
I did too.
Think he's just going to be able to just come out of the gate, pressure like crazy, and maybe catch an early finish.
No, I didn't commit to a Kelvin win. I just said I can see how he wins, but at the same time, he's the guy who got frustrated by Neil Magny's range kickboxing game.
Yeah, but Neil Magny is great. No, I hear you. The problem is pretty much exactly what Bilal is saying, that Kelvin does seem to struggle at distance. And with Adesanya, he's going to be dealing with that a lot.
Yeah.
So
like at middleweight, what's saving him is his insane speed relative to everyone else is fighting.
And the fact that he hits really fucking hard.
Yeah, but like he still struggles. I mean, against Jacare, he still struggled after Jacare was hurt and gassed. So
yeah,
like I think he's gotten better at pushing through it, but it's still there. But conversely, Adesanya, I don't know. He seems like a guy who kind of needs his space to work, and Calvin does pressure because King's MMA. So it's kind of like they both have flaws in the areas where the other one is strong, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but to play devil's advocate for a second, like Adesanya does seem to have found a comfortable medium as far as his grappling is concerned. He's not going to be throwing arm bars or jumping guard or whatever else, but he does seem to know what to do when he gets, for whatever reason, he gets tied up. And the thing here is that he's dealing with a much shorter man, and he's not necessarily stronger physically. Like, he has heavier hands, but he may not necessarily be stronger physically than Israel.
No, well, he's good at using leverage. I mean, kickboxing isn't just standing at range and throwing punches and kicks. It's also about the clinch, and that's kind of what helps him out in his fights.
Yes, the thing is that he hasn't quite faced it properly, like someone with a proper scholastic background in wrestling.
Don't even bring that up. Like, the last guy he took the fight to the ground with was... Actually, he didn't even take the fight to the ground. Last guy he used his wrestling was Jake Ellenberger. When Ellenberger tried taking the fight to the ground, and then they initiated a scramble, and he scrambled to Ellenberger's back. Like, he hasn't used his wrestling offensively in forever.
No. Wait. I'm talking about Adesanya. He hasn't fought someone with proper scholastic background. Necessarily. He fought Bronson.
But I mean, you're looking at Calvin Gastelum right now. Like, he hasn't used his wrestling offensively in forever.
I know. He has to. But Adesanya is clearly preparing for it. So, like I mentioned the last time, I'm not necessarily sure that trying to take the fight to the ground is what Kelvin is going to try to do, necessarily, because it means closing in range and then working against someone that has, first of all, is stronger than you. Second, is longer than you. So he can put a much wider base than you.
Hold on.
Then you have
Adesanya. I'm sorry to interrupt. Is Adesanya much stronger than Kelvin, though?
No, we just said he's not be. But he is good at using his leverage.
Yes, I'm operating under I'm making several assumptions here. And one of them is that there is a chance that once they clinch, Adesanya will be not significantly stronger, but stronger than Kelvin. Doesn't mean that he will know what to do once they're there, but I'm not sure that just relying on trying to take the guy down is what's going to get Kelvin the win. But I think that what they will try to do is force these stand-up scrambles where Kelvin can win the fight on the feet by using grappling pressure, if it makes any sense.
But he has never, at least in a few years, used his grappling offensively. It's either been scrambles when someone else tries to take him down, or defensive wrestling, or the clinch. But in the clinch, he isn't exactly someone who takes you down. He's someone who tries to grind you out. And we've seen Adesanya against that type in Brunson. So, I don't think
that is true. But
at least from what we've seen for a few years now, I don't think offensive wrestling should be a big thing.
I know, I agree. I'm not saying he should try to take him down. What I say is that he should try tying with him and moving him around. Not necessarily
we haven't seen him do that ever since the Ultimate Fighter. That was the last time we've seen him operate like that.
Yes, you're right. Hence my next argument. If he doesn't try to do that, what tools does he have in order to deal with Adesanya brings?
Oh, it's a 1-2.
I know, but a 1-2 is not going to win him the fight. So he has to go back and dig from the other stuff he has. And the other stuff he has that is somewhat bankable is this pressure wrestling and scrambling abilities that we know he has. So either he brings something new or he gets schooled, is my point. I'm still thinking Kelvin. Yeah, I'm still picking Kelvin because, again, I'm making the assumption that he will try to bring something new. Well, make something new, something that was old back in the day, because he was doing this, that I'm saying, but he got away from it. He started throwing that endless 1-2 and somehow kept connecting. Also, if you remember the Tim Kennedy fight, after those, they scrambled on the feet a little bit. After a while, he was doing some decent body work, so we might see that. My point is that he has to open up his game, because if he doesn't, if he relies on that 1-2 over and over again, he's doing it against a much better schooled fighter on the feet, a fighter that has an understanding of distance, of range, of even punching while moving, setting things up. Like, he is completely outgunned and outmaneuvered there. So he has to do the things that he has.
Just against Tim Kennedy, like I said earlier, he wasn't the one who initiated the wrestling exchanges in that fight.
I know, but they happened.
Responsive.
I know, yes, that was responsive. But my point is that he needs to create similar circumstances.
No,
he has no other choice.
There's a reason why we don't see such dramatic style turnarounds in fighters, because they get more comfortable doing. They get more comfortable doing A than they have doing B, even if B is their original skill set.
I understand that, but I'm trying to think rationally here, because if he doesn't do that, then he's gonna get schooled, and we have to pick Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of just in terms of evidence we've seen from other MMA fighters as well as Calvin, you don't find them reverting to their styles once they've made a definite style change. I mean, he could have done that against Neil Magny also, but he didn't.
Yeah, but this is yes. All of that conceded. That is a much bigger stage. There's a hell of a lot more at stake. There's a lot more money at stake. And he has to approach this differently. Now, you may be right, but if you are right, I don't see any reason to pick Kelvin Gastelum in this fight. Like, how is he going to deal with everything Adesanya brings just with stand-up?
No, because I mentioned this last week also, but Adesanya needs his space. He's extremely skilled in striking, but he still needs his space. So if Calvin can pressure consistently, even if he's going to eat counters and stuff there, but if he can pressure consistently, he can make it a more even-footed fight.
I don't think so. Because he's not well-schooled enough. He's not well-schooled enough.
Let's maybe consider looking at it in terms of outcomes, right? So let's say we have an early finish by either as one outcome. We have a competitive fight either ending in a finish or decision as the secondary outcome, and we have just a normal controlled decision as the final outcome.
Mm-hmm.
In each of those scenarios, who is more likely to win?
If it's an early finish, like early, it must be Kelvin, because he caught him with something weird.
No, I'm not talking about who must it be. I'm saying who is it more likely to be? Because Adesanya has also a few early finishes.
I think I'm picking Adesanya then, because he's gonna catch Kelvin with some fucking knee. And that might be what actually does it, because Kelvin hits a lot of fucking punches still. Like, his defense isn't great. As far as we have seen, his defense isn't great. And when he's struggling, when he has better cardio against someone like, say, Jacare, and he cannot enforce a range, like purely stand-up range.
No. I'm just saying in terms of those scenarios now. So if he gasses, it'll be in the latter two scenarios. So the way I look at it is that if we're looking at an early finish, it'll more likely be Gastelum, because, like I mentioned, Adesanya needs his space, but he also needs his timing to be established so he can land one of those shots, right?
Yes.
We know Calvin is a pressure fighter and he's fast as fuck, right?
Yes.
So,
and that's quite clear.
So,
is he faster than Israel, though? Is he faster than Israel?
Well, Israel isn't that fast compared to. Yeah, it's not that fast compared to Gastelum.
Hold on a pure speed. basis, yeah, he's definitely faster than Israel.
Okay, so he's faster than Israel. Okay, we established that. No, I'm trying to establish like a sort of pattern for reasoning here. So we know he's faster than Israel. Is that enough to deal with the amount of with the footwork that he brings and opponent that he sees?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not yet at the stage where we compare the different outcomes. I'm just saying if a first round finish does happen, who is the more likely person to do it? My opinion, it would be Gastelum.
What do you think, man?
Because Adesanya has to have his timing down, and he needs space to operate. And we know Calvin is really fast, even out the gate, and pressure as well, right? Okay.
I agree. Yes, but he's gonna be eating counters because he's never fought a guy of Adesanya's.
No. Slow down a bit. This is just in the scenario of an early finish. We're not discussing other scenarios yet. Now, in the second scenario, we have a more even-footed, basically a war, right? Okay, so if this fight does become a war, who is more likely to win?
Kelvin, in that case, assuming it becomes a war, it becomes a give and take kind of thing. Kelvin has more tools, I think. In like if you're looking at it like the aggregate, but
why would you say he has more tools? Why would you say he has more tools?
Because of the wrestling, but again, we are discounting the wrestling aspect here. We're just figuring on you're looking at it in terms of stand up. That's the rules you said. So we're not
stand up and clinch work. Like I mentioned, he does get into the clinch a few times, but he doesn't use his wrestling offensively in terms of getting the fight to the ground, at least not in a long time.
No, but wrestling is more than getting fights to the ground.
Yeah, but Israel's really good in the clinch. That's why I said we can consider the clinch also.
Yes, no, look, I think Kelvin can threaten with takedowns. Can he get them? I don't know that that's necessarily what they're looking for, but they're looking to establish the threat of the takedown so that he may have to work on the feet to get the results that he needs, right?
But would that lead to a back and forth war?
Probably, if Adesanya if his defense is porous enough that he can get underneath and actually Kelvin can actually get a hold of him, and he can actually fuck with his balance a little bit, then yeah, we may end up with a war in that Adesanya will catch Kelvin coming in a bunch of times, but he will be out of position enough times that he may hit some shots, some hard fucking shots. So yes, that might be how we get that war. In that case, I'm not even sure I'm even picking Gastelum then, because how many times is he going to get hit versus how many times he can get hold of Adesanya? Like, there's a chance, if we consider that he's going to be doing a hell of a lot of wrestling, of like fucking up with his balance and like trying to move him here and there and just pushing him, but not necessarily holding on to him, that he won't throw a bunch of punches in the pocket. I'm assuming body work here also. Like that's what gets Kelvin like the edge that he needs to win, in my opinion. Because if we just go by stand up,
I'm not saying what he should do. I'm asking who is more likely in that scenario.
Well, we don't know.
Slight difference, but who is But from your opinion now, who would you pick in that scenario of a back and forth war? I mean, you laid out how it might go already, but in that scenario, who would you pick?
The problem is that we haven't seen Adesanya struggle. That's a problem. We have seen Kelvin struggle, but we haven't seen Adesanya struggle. We have seen him be flummoxed a little bit, but we have seen him like in any real sort of danger, I feel.
Okay.
So
then
I don't know. Like I'm in that case, going from what we know, if this becomes quote unquote a war and they're both giving and taking, I think I might pick Gastelum, because I've seen Adesanya get badly KO'd once. So that's there. So, but it's again like it comes with a lot of like maybes and ifs and maybes.
Okay, no, but that's just a scenario. We'll compare the different scenarios at the end. But just if the scenario does happen, that's what I'm trying to establish.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so you pick Gastelum, right? Now the final scenario is a controlled decision by either one. Who would be more likely to win in that way?
Adesanya.
Okay.
Do you think?
So now, okay. Sorry?
No, I'd like to hear what Ben has to say.
Okay, it looks like Ben is dealing with baby or something.
What?
No, he just wanted to ask, why do you think Adesanya would win a controlled decision?
A controlled decision, just because I think that Gastelum's gas tank wouldn't hold out.
Okay.
I think that with it,
so
even if Gastelum employs a decision-based strategy where he's trying to win rounds, I think he's going to gas out.
I'm not sure he will gas out. I think he gassed out with Jacare because the pace was very high, was very frenetic. Like it was a very high pace, and I'm not sure that Adesanya is going to push that pace.
Weidman also. I mean, any time that Gastelum is not getting his way, he seems to overstress himself, and that causes him to kind of slow down.
Mm-hmm. I haven't noticed that.
Also, he puts a lot of oomph into his strikes.
I look like we're saying oomph now. No,
he jumps forward into those strikes to cover distance.
He kind of has to, because he has to clear a lot of distance.
Right.
That is a very good point. If it goes long, very long, and Gastelum is not getting his way in any sort of fashion, chances are he's losing. He's on the losing end of the decision. He's getting schooled, in fact.
Okay. Now let's compare each of the scenarios and figure out which one is more likely in the aggregate, right? So let's maybe start with the two extremes: a controlled decision versus an early finish.
Mm-hmm.
How likely is it, since you picked Calvin for an early finish, right? How likely is it that Calvin finishes Adesanya early versus Adesanya taking a controlled decision? How likely are those two? Which one is more likely?
I think it is more likely that Adesanya takes a controlled decision.
Okay. So then now compare that to the in-between, which is they get into a war. Which is more likely to happen? They get into a war which you pick Calvin to win versus a controlled decision by Adesanya.
Yeah, but how long does the war last? Because as Ben just made the very good argument that Kelby gets tired. So
look, it can be in my definition, like I mentioned earlier, it could be a late finish or a decision war, but it's just not an early finish.
Decision war, then I'm not talking Kelvin. But that said, we have seen Adesanya hit a hard shot and get flatlined. In kickboxing.
Did Brunson land anything in their fight?
Nothing of note. Like Adesanya hasn't really been touched in the octagon, not to the extent that he had. Like he ate a couple of shots from Anderson, but he didn't really get hit hard, like something that catches his attention. For the most part, he's braced to his opposition.
Okay, but so you were saying, so you would then pick. Remember, I'm talking about which is more likely to happen, which scenario, not about who would win in each. Now we are just comparing how likely each scenario is. So, how likely is a war versus a controlled decision?
The problem is that a war is not like just a thing. It exists in its own spectrum. If it is like a short war that lasts 2 rounds, I'm picking Kelvin. If it lasts longer than 2 rounds, I think I might pick Adesanya.
No, because that's why I differentiated between an early finish.
But
by early finish, I didn't mean out the gate instant KO like Hernandez versus Dariush. What I meant by early finish is within maybe the first round and a half, basically when both fighters are relatively fresh. Right?
Yeah.
So in the scenario of a war happening, right, which you pick Calvin, versus the scenario of a controlled decision, which you picked Adesanya, which is the more likely to happen?
I think a war for 2 rounds is more likely to happen, and that's Kelvin's window to win.
Okay, so why would it be more likely to happen? Remember, I'm not talking about what they need to do to get a win. I'm talking about just what is more likely.
Hold on. In MMA so far, has anyone tried to just pressure with strikes against Adesanya?
There was that other Italian dude, but he failed at it.
Yeah, Marvin Vettori and Brad Tavares. What's his name? Brad Tavares?
Tavares did not employ a pressure game plan.
No, he was just flummox the whole time. I think Adesanya's sheer quality flummoxes people that they immediately in their head run out of options. Like, I don't know what to do. But maybe, and this is like a huge maybe Kelvin doesn't care. Maybe Kelvin is like, I'm just gonna 1-2 this thing.
Like, no, but remember, I'm talking about which scenario is more likely. I'm not talking about what they need to do to win. So like Kelvin could come in to the fight and think, okay, I need to go to war to win and then get the finish early, right? But I'm just saying what is more likely from what we know so far.
I don't even.
So is it more likely? Is it more likely that Kelvin goes to war and gets maybe like a mid-fight to late finish, or is it more likely that Adesanya flusters him and takes a decision? Because that is the parameters we establish now.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think we have enough information to say that. Honestly, like if we were going to use
just from the information we know. Remember, if we're picking a fight, we're working from the information we know.
So that's my point. Okay, you take it, bro.
I just thought of a fight that might matter. Magny versus Gastelum. Like the first 3 rounds, if I remember correctly, Gastelum was just stuck on the outside until he realized that Magny actually isn't very good at keeping people on the outside. And then he just walked him down.
Mm-hmm.
But Adesanya is good at that.
Yeah. And, okay, yeah. I was going to mention this at the end, but that's kind of where I was going to get my pick for a controlled Adesanya fight. But that's kind of my thought process behind the pick while I was guiding Alejandro through. Also, just to see if we can come up with other scenarios in case there's anything I missed.
Yes. Okay.
We know what Kelvin needs to do to win. But in terms of separating the different outcomes and picking the most likely outcome, I still think, especially based on that magnified, that the most likely outcome from what we know now, never mind what game plan he might come in with that could change it. We don't know that. But from what we know now, to me at least, it looks like an Adesanya controlled fight is the more likely outcome.
Based on that model, yes, that's the logical conclusion. If, again, now I'm going to throw my other model, where we bring in what people should do in order to win and what we have seen them do in the past, even just barely.
Yeah, but
if we
remember that we are comparing different scenarios, right? So Kelvin should get into at least early a war in order to win, because his striking defense isn't that good anyway. So if he's on the offensive, it will probably be a war. That's what we established. But the likelihood of that scenario versus a controlled fight, for me at least, the controlled fight is more likely to happen.
But what if we actually get something in the middle?
Well, that's why I separated an early finish from a war to a controlled fight.
No. This you're working in discrete. You're taking your model and you're cutting it into discrete chunks. But what I'm saying is, like, let's take each bit of your discrete chunks. Let's say that they get into enough of a war early that somehow Kelvin can cross over that distance and forces this sort of stop gap where Adesanya is uncomfortable, but he's not necessarily correct. Let me finish.
Is that like, okay, sorry.
That not necessarily grappling him consistently, but he has enforced enough wrestling that Adesanya is off balance, and he happens to, in that span of time, like first round and a half, do enough damage to concuss Adesanya, so that by the time the fight goes long, Adesanya is fucked up, and we actually get a finish, we get like a long decision where Gastelum like edges him just by by small margin. Because
The
again,
only problem.
Yes. No, go ahead.
The only problem I have with that is that we've seen Gastelum gas after the first round and a half before when he tries pushing the pace. Usually when he lasts longer, it's because someone else slows the pace down, like Tim Kennedy did by trying to wrestle him more, right?
But again,
the parameters you laid down now was that Gastelum gets busy early and then coast on his success. But to me, that doesn't seem as likely as a control decision, because when we've seen him control a fight and push the pace, he gasses.
I am outlining a different scenario. I'm not saying it is necessarily likely. I'm just saying what might happen. Okay, I'm not saying what is that is likelier than your scenario. I agree with your scenario. What I'm outlining is this different path in which events may sort of develop, and it is not that much more unlikely. Though it is unlikely, I concede that. It isn't that much more unlikely that he just fucking hammers Israel with something, because we have also never seen Israel struggle with anything, not really struggle. We have never seen him in deep waters. We have seen Kelvin. We have never seen him get like hammered to the point that he has to come back from something. So far, he's kind of like BJ Penn. Like, we have never seen him struggle. Before we saw BJ Penn struggle, and then he could never come back. Like, we have never seen that from Israel, at least in MMA. When we saw him lose in kickboxing, he was owned. Like, he was clear, like he was beat there. So we don't know if he has that thing in him that allows him to come back. Again, I'm considering that this isn't necessarily the most likely scenario, but it is nevertheless a scenario that should be considered. That Kelvin just happens to do a chunk of damage early, and somehow discombobulates Israel, and he cannot quite find that distance to work from. And then maybe we end with this weird decision where Kelvin won. You know what I'm saying?
No, but
he's not even very dominant.
Guys, let me.
That's why I tried separating the different scenarios.
Stop.
No, I agree with that.
Stop.
What?
Stop.
We're stopped. We have stopped.
We've been talking about this for a while. I think it's time for us to stop in the abstract and make our final picks.
Okay, so
I'm making Gastelum. Fuck it, Mexico, Gastelum.
I figured that was coming, because like you'd pick Gastelum, and then after discussing it, explain to me what might happen, you'd become uncertain afterwards. Like you were picking in the reverse.
I am uncertain as fuck. I do agree that that the scenario you outlined is much more likely to happen. What fucking homerism. I'm going to root for the Mexican guy. I'm going to pick him. We never said that it has to make sense the fact that we make picks. So, fuck it. I'm picking Kelvin. By TKO.
Okay, like I think I mentioned last week, I think Kelvin can win this fight with early offense and especially pressure. But like, I still think a controlled decision by Adesanya is somewhat more likely than that happening.
No, I do concede that scenario. I concede it.
Definitely a very likely scenario, but we're talking about what the final picks are.
Oh no, I'm saying my final pick is Adesanya.
Okay, I'm gonna err on the. I'm gonna fall on the side of Adesanya probably should win, but I'm gonna pick Gastelum because.
Yes, Mexico.
No. Sorry. I just feel like there's something that bothers me about Adesanya, and it's hard for me to put my finger on it, but I feel like we're going to see him get KO'd here.
Damn.
Is it because he needs his space? Like, he very clearly needs his space to when he wins fights.
But I can't get out of my head how completely diffused he looked when he was pressured by Silva.
No, that's what I'm saying. He needs his space. He flusters people and then gets his offense off.
There are guys.
It's not like he thrives in those fights.
There are guys who look out of sorts when they're pressured or put out of their game. He didn't just look out of sorts. He looked just fucking like, I got nothing here.
Yeah, but that was understood. Well, okay, to not that I necessarily disagree, but to play devil's advocate, that's understood Silva. That's his idol. He doesn't want to hurt him.
Yeah, but I haven't really seen him do well when getting pressured before that either.
Fair point.
So,
okay, so like you are picking Gastelum on just like being hard-headed and pressuring him into oblivion.
And also Cordero is his coach.
Yeah, but Cordero hasn't been doing too well lately. Like these fighters that he's been training, like not all of them have done very well. Sabina Mazo, dude, she lost with Marina Morosh, and she was doing great in LFA.
Listen.
And she's like
All right. So moving on. Are there any other fights you guys want to talk about on this card? Because honestly, there really aren't for me.
I want to see Eric Anders get a win. I want to see Eric Anders get a win. But I also like Ellie Roundtree. So.
Discussing that fight, though, are we?
No.
I'd rather talk. Let's talk about OSP versus Nikita Krylov before we start talking about that fight.
Let's not.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Just small comments. Just small comment. Also, the most beautiful man in MMA is coming back, Alan Juban. So for the ladies.
Yeah, it's funny.
I wouldn't want to be like shame. So like the boys that like that too. Alan Juban is coming back. So get ready.
He's 37, by the way.
Yeah, motherfucker. But he still looks good.
Oh yeah.
Like he's been KO'd and he's been hit and shit. Like. And motherfucker just looks great.
Oh, yeah, he looks amazing.
Also, we have the Gentle Soul, obviously St. Prue versus Nikita Krylov again.
I don't want to talk about that fight. That fight is such nonsense.
Also, we've seen that fight before. Like Nikita Krylov is weird. Over St. Prue is weird, but there is a weird sort of direction that he takes fights, which is just like the Von Prue choke.
I know, we just don't know what's going to happen. That's why I'm curious about that fight.
Why this fight is so ridiculous to me. There is a non-insignificant chance that OSP gets another Von Flue on Nikita Krylov.
I know. That's what I'm saying. His game has slightly more direction than Nikita Krylov's. Like, you remember when I think it was Yushin Okami, where he threw up a high kick, which postured Okami up, shot in for a takedown, and then went to the Von Prue choke.
Yeah.
It was like, it's not a combination that should work. Like, it definitely works in certain cases. Like, I think Khabib used that same strategy a few times. But it's not a common combination. So he takes this weird combination and then funnels it to the Von Flue choke.
He has 3 Von Flue chokes in the UFC.
I know. Isn't it great?
It's the Von Prue choke now.
But Poliana Botello is fighting and versus Lauren Mueller, and I'm interested in seeing her how she does at 125.
Okay, wait, shut up. Let's talk about Curtis Millender versus Bilal Muhammad. Oh, sorry, Bilal. Remember the name Muhammad.
I think.
Is it your namesake? Is it like another way of writing Bilal?
Bilal uses his grappling instead of trying to strike with Curtis too much. I think he can hang up with Curtis a little bit, but.
Yes, no, but I think we have to root for Bilal because Bilal, if you're wait. Yes, because Bilal, isn't that your exact same name, just written differently?
Yes, it is, and Muhammad is my first name, so it's like 2 out of 3.
It's Muhammad Bilal. Yes, we have to root for Bilal Muhammad. We just have to.
I think he'll beat Millender if he mixes it up. If he goes full MMA, I think he'll do it.
He's actually been quite good at going full MMA in the times he has gone. So that's a distinct possibility. Yeah.
Didn't have a good job of it against Jeff Neal, but I don't think Melender is as.
Okay, I'm just confused. How are we defining going full MMA? It's like full,
Mixing in wrestling, striking, clinch.
Oh, okay. Yes.
All right. I think we can move on from the card.
Okay.
Bilal,
I thought it was like
do your idea next.
Yes. Okay. So basically what I had in mind is looking through each division and then each of us picking one person. I'm not sure if we can actually get through each division in time because we tend to kind of get sidetracked sometimes.
Okay,
but picking...
There's nobody.
Yeah.
There's nobody.
Yeah, I'll skip heavyweight and light heavyweight one time as well.
I mean, light heavyweight, we have Johnny Walker, and that's it.
Yeah.
No,
there was
the other guy.
There was another up and comer also.
Dominic Reyes.
Yes.
Already top 5.
Okay, wait. We're getting ahead of ourselves. So going through each division, picking one person and why we think they should be someone to watch. It can be a prospect or maybe an old vet who somehow put his game together and is rising up. But basically someone who is coming up in the division who you should probably watch. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that was my idea. So since the heavier divisions generally suck, let's start from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So women, I was gonna say women's strawweight first, and then
go ahead.
We can go to men's flyweight. Although I don't think men's flyweight is gonna be a thing for long.
True.
Wait, okay. So where are we picking from? From the top 10 or from
15?
The upper
top 15. Yeah.
Okay. So where are we starting from?
Women's strawweight. It can be anyone in top 15. Yeah, it can be anyone in top 15. You don't have to pick the lowest person. Just someone who is coming up, who is still busy establishing themselves.
It's Weili Zhang. There's no one else.
What?
It's either Weili Zhang or Tatiana Suarez. Those are the only two that are even new.
Yeah. So let's start there then. Well, there's Cynthia Calvillo, but I'm not gonna pick her.
No, I'm just gonna say who I always say, Alexa Grasso, because she's fun, but she's not fighting. So I don't know.
Okay, but yeah. So you want to discuss? So you want to discuss Weili Zhang versus our chances versus Tatiana Suarez? Because I'm picking Tatiana Suarez.
No, I'm picking Tatiana. She's gonna school everyone.
Okay, but why? Let's start with why.
Because she's so much better at wrestling. It doesn't even matter what you do. No, the problem is with Tatiana is that if someone somehow manages to diffuse that wrestling, her striking defense and offense is Paige VanZant levels after she left Team Alpha Male. So that's gonna be a hard wake up.
I don't want to say that Suarez's grappling does seem to be improving still. Jiu-jitsu
it doesn't. No, her jiu-jitsu is improving. Her wrestling, she's the best women's wrestler that's ever competed in MMA, and grappler probably too. She's probably better than fucking Ronda, but people are not gonna give her that benefit, right? But she's been fighting better people, even in the wrestling rank. When she coming up in the wrestling ranks, she made number 3 in the world championships, which are actually higher level than the Olympics. And she could have gone and won a gold medal had it not been for her health going to shit for a long time because she had cancer and all of that. But right now, she doesn't need to get any better. If she really wants to get better at striking, she's likely going to get worse at wrestling, and that's when she's going to get beat. But as she is now, with the team she's in, she's just working in her wrestling a lot, putting a lot of effort into it. I think she's gonna school people. She's just gonna keep schooling people until she cannot make the cut down to 115 anymore. She's gonna go to 125 because she's huge and she has long octopus arms that help her with everything she needs to do.
How long could she keep making the weight?
I don't know. I don't fucking know with women. Sometimes they miss weight by 4 or 5 pounds, and it's because some weird shit happened in the week, and then everything went to crap. So I don't know. Like, I think she can make the weight for at least 1 or 2 more years safely.
No, I think she can. I think she can go further. I mean, like you said, there are some unique circumstances around some other women's fighters making. But she's 27. Like, it's not like she's growing into a body style. She's near,
I know, but
she's
my
near, if
point
not
is,
entered a physical prime.
no, she's at her physical prime, but she's also injury laden. So you have to consider that. Like, maybe I shouldn't, like, but I try to consider all of that by the time they get to this age, like 27, 28, 29, 30, like how much have they been through? Because there's this, and someone that actually knows about weight cutting can come in and correct me, but I think that there's like this compound effect that sort of builds up and builds up and builds up. So Tatiana has been making this weight, like a lot of weight cuts since she's been a little girl. So by now she's been through a lot. So I think it's like at least 2 years. Let's give it 2 years at least. But at some point she's gonna have to move up to 125.
I don't think she'll necessarily have to. Like I said, she's already grown into a body. She's not like some early 20-year-old who's still busy packing on muscle.
Yeah, I mean, but I've seen cases of people that are not necessarily much bigger than her struggle to make that weight, and really struggle. Like Mackenzie Dern is thick, but she's not necessarily much larger than Tatiana, and she fucking cannot make that weight to save her life.
Oh, you know why she struggles compared to Tatiana. Like, it's it's not an apples to apples case.
Well, maybe she likes having too much fun. I don't know. Like, but I'm always like
exactly what Bilal was referring to.
Well, she's too thick. Like, she probably could cut a little body mass in there, like some body fat or whatever, if she's like super serious about making 115. I mean, that's what I'm assuming, because Mackenzie Dern likes, having curves around, so to speak.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to do that, don't try and make strawweight, because you're just going to, it's stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Either get physically, like, work to be trimmer, or don't.
Yeah, I agree. But for example, Felice Herrig, like, she's pretty fucking large. Like, Courtney Casey, she makes the weight, but they're fucking killing themselves to make this thing. And at some point, it's not workable anymore. And after you have been cutting that
large.
What?
She's built, but she's not that large.
Who?
Herrig.
No, I think she's large. Like, she just cuts a shit ton of weight.
Does
watch her fight? Watch her fight Courtney Casey. They look about the same size.
No.
Yeah.
Courtney Casey is 5'7", dude.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, dude. Your imperial units, like, it's not the international units that we.
Oh my God, Felice Herrig is 1.63 meters tall. Courtney Casey is 1.7.
They look equally thick to me. That's fucked up for Courtney Casey then. Jesus. Because I remember there was a moment.
Okay, so I think we established Alejandro sucks at establishing fighter sizes. So let's hear from you, Ben.
Yes, let's hear from you.
About what?
But I don't know.
Which fighter at women's strawweight would you recommend watching?
It's Suarez. I'm going to pick the excellent wrestler.
Okay. I should have guessed that, yeah. Okay, so then let's move on to, I'm not sure the women's flyweight is.
The only person.
Is this about who can?
No.
Is this about who can make champ, or who is someone who is fun?
Most.
Just who what?
Who excites us the most at that weight class.
Oh, I'm excited about fucking Grasso whenever she fights. She's fun as fuck when she fights. Oh, and Randa Marcos, because she's fun.
You don't know how to pick person, do you?
Yeah, let's move on to a different division.
I love Randa Marcos. She's amazing.
I like JRC.
Okay, it's
Rose Clark.
Yeah.
Oh, she's in bantamweight now, but she's just injured. She fucked up her.
Flyweight. She's still at flyweight officially, no?
No, she moved up.
according to the rankings, she's still at flyweight.
No. Jessica
Yeah, rankings
Rose,
are still late.
if you mean the Australian lady,
Yeah.
no, she's off. No, she cannot make flyweight anymore.
Oh, you're right.
She moved up to bantamweight, and she had a fight slated for this week, I think. But she hurt ligaments in her foot, so she's out.
Okay, so I saw the photos. They're bad. Okay, so not then nobody. I don't give a shit about women's flyweight. I'm not gonna lie.
I do.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say women's flyweight is still in kind of a bit of chaos.
No. There's fun. No, there's people fun in there. There's Antonina Shevchenko, who's fucking awesome. There's Joan Calderwood, who is fun. There's Joanna over there.
No, but we're talking about up and comers. The only one up and comer there is Antonina Shevchenko, and she's not gonna fight Valentina.
We don't care, but she's gonna fight a bunch of people, and she's gonna jab him, and she's gonna be fun. I love it.
Okay. Yeah. So Antonina.
Right.
Yeah, no, there's so far fucking Arena Aldana.
Maybe
it's like by default.
Vieira.
Is she what?
Caitlin Vieira.
But she's super injured, and I don't know what's up with her. She should have been fighting for the belt for a while ago, but the last person she beat, I think, was
Zingano in March of 2018. So it's been a while. It's been over a year.
Yeah, there's issues there. Like she needs to fix. But she's exciting. But I'm just going to default to the Mexican lady who fights fun, and that's Irene Aldana.
I'm gonna go with the Brazilian jiu-jitsu person.
Yeah, but she's not fighting.
She's gonna fight. Calm down. She's 27.
Yeah, but she's super injured. Oh, okay, no, that's what, for example, is true. That's what I would have said more things about Grasso, but she's super injured, so she's not fighting. But fuck, Jesus, they still have Raquel Pennington in there. So are we excited about Tony Evinger? Are we excited about Tony Evinger?
No.
No.
Wait.
Up and comer.
Well, Talita Bernardo is there. Huh.
Okay, but let's move on to men's bantamweight, since flyweight only really has Figueiredo and Pantoja, but it's gonna close soon, so I wouldn't put much stock.
I'm not dealing with that. Flyweight, just because I don't expect the division to exist that much longer either.
Yeah, although the division is a lot more fun if you treat it as a tournament of death.
All right.
So because whoever loses gets cut anyways, so just treat it like some giant tournament of death.
Volka is a ranked flyweight, so no, I'm not treating it like anything.
Just treat it like the freaking Highlander, where all of them are killing each other, and there's gonna be one person left. All them fight Cejudo.
I want it to be Tim Elliott.
I'm still gonna mark out for Alexander Pantoja.
I like him too.
I really like the way he fights.
Yes.
Yeah, he's fun.
All right. Let's move on to bantamweight then. For me, it's Peter Yan. Yes,
Peter Yan is fun as fuck. He also looks like he's 367.5 years old. What the fuck is with that? He's 25. He's 25 years old. Is anybody freaked out about that? He looks super old.
Okay, but someone else talk. I'm laughing.
I
Ben.
I moved my mouth away from the mic because I was laughing.
Look at pictures of Peter Yan. He looked like my grandfather. He's 25 years old. How did that happen? I think he's lying. He's not 25. Fuck that. He's 47. He just had
Please stop. Please stop.
He has Joel Romero genetics. So he's fuck these young people. I'm just gonna kick their ass.
Please stop. Can you just find a Mexican fighter to pick?
Alejandro Perez because Mexico. I love He's a 13. He's a 13. So I'm excited for him. He always shows up to fight. He's fun. He also has like this face that looks. He kind of looks like a delinquent, like the stereotype face of a delinquent, which I love. But he's like a soft in real life. So yeah, he's a cool. I like him.
I just want to say if he was in the top 15, I would be picking. Just give me a minute to look up his name because I'm not that familiar. Dvalishvili.
Oh, Merab Dvalishvili.
Yeah, if he was in top 15, I'd totally be picking him because like that fight with Ricky Simone was fun as fuck. It's like he came out with a 1-round game plan for 3 rounds. Like who the fuck does that?
And it worked almost.
Yes, almost. I was so salty when they ruled that a submission loss because like they didn't call the sub until after the bell went. Like even if he was out, they didn't call it.
Yeah. Anyway, featherweight.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is interesting. I'm going to be backing Masad Bektik.
You know who I'm going to pick there? You know who I'm going to pick there?
You know who I'm picking too. We all know.
Yeah. Your boy Alexander Volkanovski.
Volkanovski for you, Bektic for Bilal, and you're picking Yair. We can move on.
Yeah, I'm picking Yair.
But why are you picking Yair?
Because it's fucking fun. Also homerism, but his fucking fun.
Don't you love Mercer just like jabbing people, taking them down and pounding them out? It's like if GSP was given more aggression.
Yeah.
And less skill.
Yes, he's fun. No, shut up. Don't be that guy. No, but Jair is fun. He brings like I don't know, like just burning shit on fire and then you just watch it. Like that's kind of like watching Jair fight. And he does spinning shit and he does wonky shit that I like watching him fight, even though I worry a lot about him because he doesn't feel like jabbing a lot. But even though he should.
Yeah, no, Yair fights like he just watched a marathon of Kung Fu movies.
Yes, I know he fights like
that was him starting tape.
Yeah, I know. I think that he just thinks he's in a Kung Fu movie, in a wuxia film, so he goes and does these things that shouldn't work, but they do. He's super fun. That's what makes me excited. Of course, I would say Korean Zombie, but he hasn't woken up yet.
And probably not Newcomer either.
Is it just weird that none of us picked Zabit? I mean, like
because we're not that excited about him because I think he's overrated as hell.
No, look,
I wouldn't. Okay, I think he's really good.
Oh, he's
Sorry,
good,
you were
but
saying?
he's overrated.
For 1 round and a half,
yeah.
and then it's like, oh shit, I'm so dehydrated, I can barely even think. He is good, literally, for 450 seconds. It's like 2 minutes. Minute and a half, right? No, fuck, no.
No, more than 2 minutes.
A round and a half.
Yeah, that's way more than 2 minutes.
No. A round and a half. So a round is how many seconds is a round? 300?
7 minutes, dude. 7.5 minutes.
Fuck. What the fuck? No, I said it in seconds.
Oh, I don't know.
450 seconds, more or less. Let me ask Julia, because Julia knows everything.
Anyway, we'll move on to lightweight in the meantime while he figures out how many seconds are in 7.5 minutes. I'm picking Gregor Gillespie.
Yeah, I'm just. Why are you like stealing my picks? Fuck you, Ben.
Fuck you. I'm the host. That's
my.
Hey, he likes fish. I probably likes fish.
All right, so we're both picking Gillespie. What about you?
Okay, wait. Yeah. Well, I don't see any Mexican fighters here unless you count Alexander Hernandez.
No, is he Mexican? He's very douchey though. Like I feel like rooting for him because of homerism, but I don't know. He was like calling Cerrone like old man. Like I can never get that out of my head. I'm gonna say Shane. Wait, no, that's not under weight class. No, I'm gonna say Kevin Lee, even though he's been around for a while. But no, like Francisco Trinidad. Yeah, I know. Yeah. He shouldn't even be ranked there anymore. No, I don't know, man. Like everybody's been there. What?
You can pick Charles Oliveira then.
Yeah.
An up-and-comer Charles Oliveira who has been there for like a million years.
He's an up-and-comer at lightweight.
Yes. Oh, but you know he just wants to cut to featherweight anyway. Next time.
Okay, let's discuss why we're talking about Gregor Gillespie, since we kind of missed that on the previous division. Why are you excited for Gregor?
Why am I excited? Because
personally,
the reason why I'm personally excited for Gregor is that he's kind of weird. Okay, in a way, he bucks the mold of the grappler being the bigger guy, right? So he's smaller than everybody at lightweight, and he relies on his speed, pace, and just relentlessness. Something that we see, successfully strikers.
Yeah, he's basically angry Frankie Edgar.
Very angry Frankie.
So I have a very, very naive take on this, of which, nevertheless, I am very proud. In that I can see all of the things you say, but honestly, all I like about Gregor Gillespie is that I want him to take the back and clasp his hands, and then that the other guy cannot do anything. And that's so funny to me because he just clasps his hands. He gets behind you and clasps his hands. And that's it. That's game over. He's going to control you for the rest of the fight.
Oh yeah, no, I love that. Like
in wrestling, you cannot do that apparently. But since this is MMA, you just like, if you're as good a wrestler as him, what is he going to do? I'm going to fucking clasp my hands behind you, and then you're fucked. And then he's going to do whatever he wants to do. But I'm just looking for that moment, like clasp your hands. And when he clasps his hands, I clapped them.
That was one of the reasons why I started liking Khabib Nurmagomedov in the Abel Trujillo fight, because it's just so funny looking at people getting frustrated because they can't do anything at all.
Yeah, like especially about Trujillo. Like I don't like that guy.
Ooh, also, he's only gone to a decision twice. So that's kind of...
he's flipping fun. Like he either subs you or he gets into wars. So that's always exciting.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to welterweight then. I gotta go with...
Neil Magny.
Elizeu dos Santos.
I'm going with...
Can I say there until...
Oh, yes.
No. He's going to be a middleweight now. Like, stop being at welterweight. Please, change weight.
I'm going to pick Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos.
I like Leon Edwards. He's in a win streak.
I swear to God, if they fucking if they match up Luque and Dos Santos, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
No, they're matching him with...
I like them both.
Magny now? Oh God, isn't he fighting Neil Magny?
Yeah, I know he's supposed to fight Neil Magny, but like if they match them up like now, like after these fights, I'm gonna be pissed.
You're already
Ben, why? Okay. Ben, why are you picking Vicente Luque?
Why am I picking Luque? Because I really, really think he is... first of all, watching his improvement has been amazing, but I personally really like the fact that he's kind of a... If you had to pick, like, what does an ATT fighter look like, I'd point at Luque.
That is true.
Like, that's what I'd point at.
Does Luque train out of ATT?
I think so. I'm almost positive he does.
Give me a second.
Oh, no.
No, Arnold 365. He's a Hoofd guy.
Oh, okay. So he's a black...
Oh, my God. That's insane.
Okay. I was wrong, but although I still stand by what I said. He is kind of an ATT guy fighting at Hoofd.
No. Well, I mean, he fights a bit different than other Hoofd fighters, but like you can still see the impression there. Like he's really good at kickboxing, or at least the hands part of kickboxing.
I'm just flashing back to his fight with Brian Barberine.
Oh no, that was quite impressive though. Like he's
I don't like what he has in store for Del Magni.
Like he actually remained calm in a war when all he's been getting so far was quick finishes. That's fucking impressive.
Yes, it is. And he's 27, so he's entering his prime.
Okay, but are you picking Vicente Luque?
Over Magni?
No, no, you can't pick Magni. Magni's been there forever.
I just like you're trying to fucking break the rules. No, I'm picking Luke, or because I cannot pick Santiago Ponzinibbio because he's already been there for a long time. Oh, hey, Ben Askren, he's new. We can go with him.
No, I'm picking Eliza dos Santos because it's like, you take the normal aggressive kickboxing BJJ guy and you just teach him capoeira kicks the entire time. Like, that's fun.
He's gonna get tired.
I mean, like he's genuinely good on the ground also. So yeah, that's always a treat to watch. But like he's just so wild.
Why throw punches when you can capoeira?
Yeah.
All right.
Like what is a jab? No. Here's the spinning kick.
Who are you guys picking at middleweight?
Yeah, let's see. Everybody's been there a long time, but Paulo Costa is having issues. Also, we don't like him. Well, I don't like him.
No, we don't.
Okay, we don't like him. Okay, of course, Israel Adesanya. Of course, Kelvin Gastelum. But Kelvin has been there for a while, so Israel Adesanya and
You get one.
Yes, he's just one. Fuck. So I guess Israel.
Right. You guys are gonna be surprised for a second, and then realize you're not surprised. I'm picking Antonio Carlos Jr.
I thought you were gonna say Jack. I thought you were gonna say Jack O'Masson.
Nope. Antonio Carlos.
Why are you picking Antonio Carlos Jr.?
That's
Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh yeah, it's like rooting for the Mex guys for me.
I do like seeing his steady improvement.
Yeah, he's getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is quite fun. But I don't know. I kind of want to.
He doesn't fuck around. He mostly gets finishes. I also really like that he got finished by Dan Kelly after fucking him up, just destroying him on the ground for 2
Don't you talk shit about the god Dan Kelly?
No, Dan Kelly.
Judo Dan, how dare you?
Yeah, no, Dan was never in any trouble in that fight. He had Antonio just where you wanted him.
Was he born young, though, or was he always this old?
I'm assuming Dan Kelly came out the womb just looking like a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the complete opposite of Peter Jan.
Antonio Carlos Jr. was supposed to fight Theodoro and then had an injury. So I don't know if he's...
No, Elias is still fighting someone, but I don't know who he is. I don't remember.
Scheduled to fight someone.
Just to be different from you all, I'm picking Jack O'Manson. Just because I don't know how far he can go. He doesn't... he's definitely skilled at submissions and top control. But he's sort of in this place where he's in between having the normal middleweight game and an actually good skilled game from what we've seen so far. And I love the fact that he's still climbing up the rankings. At least for now. I don't know how far I can get, but I'm on the train and I'm enjoying the ride while it's lasting.
I get it. Totally get it. Also, Theodoro is scheduled to fight Derek Brunson.
Oh, that's a good fight.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Okay, we already mentioned how Dominic Reyes is kind of the guy at light heavyweight, or maybe Johnny Walker, and then at heavyweight.
And that's it.
At heavyweight,
Just to make it special for light heavyweight, let's discuss which middleweights need to move up to become prospects at light heavyweight.
I like that. Anderson Silva.
I was gonna say that.
That's funny because I could kind of see him like walking in and just knocking out Corey Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually can see that.
Like Corey Anderson,
But
and I could totally see Anderson knocking him out in the first.
Uriah Hall?
Nah, he's not that big.
You're right.
But he is fast, and that's more than what you can say for the rest of light heavyweight.
Yeah, some extra mass would help him.
Weidman.
Is he though? Like, I don't know. That he's taking way too much punishment. Way too much at light heavyweight. Is he really?
Now, imagine if he stops cutting ungodly amounts of weight, and tell me that he wouldn't immediately take down and destroy Volkan Oezdemir.
He can take the punches.
I want to see that.
He would do that, but I'm not sure he can take those shots anymore.
Yeah, we know.
No, to be fair, he's been like, who has he been KO'd by? Like, he went to war and then got an attrition-based KO from Jacare. And then, like, Luke Rockhold pounded him out on the ground, and Yoel Romero was the only one to clearly put him out. But it's Yoel Romero. It's like,
he also hit him really fucking hard. Like he's
Yoel Romero is like a character from like Fist of the North Star or something.
You know what? Like he would fit in there. He would fit in.
That's funny.
There, like fucking Romero, like I owe you, Jesus, instead like fucking punching people. They say you're already there.
Rockhold is already moving up. Romero is probably going to move up at some point.
For now, I'm actually excited for Rockhold. Like there is some bad style matches at light heavyweight, but like not that many. Like not that many.
Jones. Fight Jones.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that also because is Jones that bad a style matchup for him?
No, I think
because they
style matchup for Jones.
Yeah, like they both specialize at kicking range, right? They both specialize in the clinch, but Rockhold is good off his back and on top or in scrambles. So like putting aside athleticism and whatever fight adapting Jones does mid-fight. But like it's a weirdly equal fight. Just in terms of style.
Rockhold isn't even that slower than Jones.
No, he's fucking fast, even at middleweight. Like he wasn't the fastest, but he was generally one of the faster middleweights.
Yeah, he would. The only issue is that if you can get caught by Michael Bisping, Jon Jones probably can catch you a bunch more times.
Jon Jones has terrible hands, though. Like, did you see the Gustafsson fight? Like, kicking, everything looked super technical. When it came to punching exchanges, his arms just kind of flailed as soon as Gustafsson matched the range.
His punches are the least developed part in his arsenal, but he's not terrible. Like, terrible is like, I don't know, like, what's the name of the lady that got munched by Valentina Shevchenko?
Okay, let me reclarify. Jon Jones looks good when he has full use of his range. When you can threaten him from range, his hands look bad. Because then he's unsure if he should step in for punches or just kick.
Because somebody like him, he becomes too accustomed at fighting at an advantageous range, right? So it's difficult for him to adjust.
All right, so somehow this turned into a breakdown of Luke Rockhold versus Jon Jones. Anyway,
let's not do that.
Let's move on to the end of the show.
Yeah,
this is it.
We don't want to spoil. We don't want to spoil the fact that we're all going to pick Luke Rockhold, right?
Yeah, I would. I think was the underdog there.
Yeah, no, he should be the underdog. But like, I would be interested in seeing it. I'd say that.
All right. Well, I think we've come to the end. Thank you so much for joining us.
Wait, we're not gonna see heavyweight.
I'm not, honestly.
Hey, Tuivasa, that's the only guy.
That's literally the only guy who's kind of new.
Curtis Blades
been around for like half a decade. I don't know.
No, Curtis Blade is newish, but like he needs more time in the oven.
Also, you look at pictures of Curtis Blades without the beard. He looks amazing and funny.
Yo, so just fun fact. You ever hear of a value bet?
No.
A value bet is where you see like a really like long set of odds. So you throw some money down on it, hoping that it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Every single fight on this card that's coming up, the only one where there's like a big favorite is Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier, which is minus 225 for Holloway and plus 180 for Poirier. That is the biggest. That is the widest set of odds on the entire card.
Wait, am I reading it right that Holloway is being favored?
Yeah, 2-1.
Huh.
That makes sense.
You might want to put money in that one.
Oh, I did already. I put money on Dustin actually when the odds were even worse. So he was at one point plus 200.
How much money did you put in?
$5. Nothing crazy. I don't bet a lot.
No, that's great. I like that you're a gambler, but you spend a bit of money on it.
Yeah, I'm very, very like frugal.
Yeah, but no, I mean that line kind of makes sense if you think about them popularity wise.
Oh yeah.
Now I am kind of rooting for Max. No, I'm sorry for Dustin, because I was rooting for in the middle, but now I'm kind of rooting for Dustin because I want Ben to win some money.
Thank you.
Like, I just want Ben to make back to make up on his investment.
Yeah, no, Ben can use that for Daniel's college funds.
$10 is a start. All right. Actually going to end the podcast here, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Once again, if you've made it all the way to the end, which I expect you to, please like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let your friends know. We really do appreciate any and all support. Put on Facebook, Twitter, and whatever other social media platforms you prefer to use. Guys, say goodbye because we are about to end.
Nos vemos.
Bye.